Probably stereotyped. I don't know, you're all criminals, you're all thugs. It's still like with employment or whatever. Do you know what I mean? If you tell them you're living here, you're not getting a job at all.
I think a while ago, before I had my own sort of personal experience, then I would have made an assumption that they were somebody that looked very rough and lived out on the streets, but that's not the case at all.
What is the case?
Well, I've been homeless, my daughter's been homeless, but we actually stayed in a women's refuge. We were homeless because of domestic violence.
There's no such thing as, you know, we're homeless. It's like saying, what does a rich person look like, or you know, what does a poor person look like? There's no, you can't turn around and say, oh, he's homeless. He might have a house, he just doesn't like to stay clean. You know, I'm homeless, you know what I mean? I wear Henry Lloyd stuff and Lacoste. If I was walking down the street, you wouldn't think I was homeless.
They find out we're from the Salvation Army, they don't want to know. So like when you go for a job and that, we're from the Sally.
I mean, that's the weird thing. You can't sort of, you can't get anything without an address, and you can't get an address without having that kind of support in place. So it's a bit of a catch-22, really.
Do you think you're treated maybe slightly differently if you put the YMCA on your application form?
I don't put the YMCA on anything at all. Not on my bank, not on job applications. I'll put Edinburgh House, I'll put Harding Road, but I won't put YMCA.
Why not?
I don't know, just because it does have that sort of stigma attached to it, you know. If you're from the YMCA, then you're a druggy loser, which just isn't the case at all, you know what I mean? I don't know, what does a person look like? You know, they all come in all shapes and sizes. I don't know, really. I mean, you'll have your stereotypical view of what a homeless person is, but that isn't really the case, to be honest with you, you know.
What is the case?
That it's happening to a lot of people all the time, and
looking down their nose at you, just because they've got something what you haven't got, basically, so they think they're better than you.
And how does that feel?
Quite, it's horrible. It's not very nice, like, because I haven't done anything wrong, like, and for them, like, look down their nose at me, where they could have done something wrong, do you know what I mean? And they've got all that house and everything. I've got nothing, like.
They say loads of different stuff like, you know, go have a bath, go get yourself cleaned up and get yourself a job. And then you might have somewhere to live. You know, it isn't really nice to hear that, because they don't have a clue what your problems are.
When like, because we live in here, people, like, you say, when they ask you at the job centre and stuff, where do you live, and you say the YMCA, and they're like, because people mistake this place for, like, people with, I don't know, people think there's junkies and everything in here, but there isn't.
I mean, most people would think they're either drunks or druggies or kids on the street basically turning to prostitution due to drugs or whatever. And that's the image that I think a lot of people have of homeless people, that they're the bad people, the people you ignore in the streets and everything like that. Being in their situation now is something I never expected to do. And to be honest with you, they aren't. There are people, I've sort of spoke to other people that are homeless, and they've all got their own stories, they've all got a reason why they're homeless. Most of them, it isn't to do with drink, it isn't to do with drugs, it's to do with family situations.
My perception before I came here of a homeless person was a scruff, big beard, stinking of alcohol, scrutty clothes. But a homeless person can be anybody, and people have various different reasons for being homeless, i.e. loss of the job, breakdown in marriage, etc, etc. There's not just being a drug addict or an alcoholic that makes you homeless. There's everything. There's endless possibilities of why people become homeless, and I've only realised that since I've been in this situation myself. I used to look down my nose at people, but now the people are doing that to me.